Darkness crashes down on the desert in an instant. Just a moment ago, the sun was scorching the blistering sand, and now a spray of stars is flung across the sky, illuminating everything with a million points of cold light. The night brings not just a cool relief, but a blanket of silence, broken only by the whisper of wind caressing the dunes. In the heart of this endless space, among the silent dunes, stand dozens of tents woven from coarse wool. One of them, low and dark, flickers in the distance with the light of a small fire. Inside, lit by the trembling glow of the hearth, sits a woman. Her face is calm, her focus on some unhurried task. A man, whether a stranger whose caravan has just arrived or an old acquaintance, waits at the entrance to the tent. He doesn't ask or plead, he simply waits. And it is only the woman, the mistress of this temporary but sacred home, who might lift the edge of the rug with a single slight motion. Or she might not, because here, in the endless sands of Arabia, everything is different. Even intimacy. In this world where the sun is merciless by day and the night hits with an icy breath, survival dictates its own rules and forges relationships incomprehensible to most of us. The Bedouins are a people for whom the concept of home isn't tied to land, foundations, or walls. For them, a home is just a companion on an endless journey. Today, they make camp under the blazing sun. Tomorrow, their caravan will move on, disappearing into the desert mirages. Here, relationships between people, like the sand itself, are fluid and ever-shifting. There are no marriages in the official sense we know, no licenses, no vows till death do us part. There are no ceremonies that bind people forever, because here, eternity itself is just the turning of day into night. A marriage isn't a lifelong promise, but a willing agreement to be together for the night, a free choice made again and again. They are not like us, and that is their defining feature. In their world, the desert itself lays down the law, shaping a unique way of life, a different set of values, and an unparalleled understanding of honor and personal freedom. The desert has no patience for attachments, no forgiveness for weakness, and no room for compromise, and this is reflected in every aspect of their existence. The constant movement, the grueling search for water and scarce pastures, a life lived on the edge of survival. None of it leaves room for formalities, empty words, elaborate rituals, or the stability we take for granted. But the most astonishing paradox in this harsh world is the absolute, unshakable power a woman holds over her own space. The tent, that humble home of wool and sticks, is her inviolable territory. She is its keeper, its fortress, its heart and soul. And any man, be it a husband who has spent many nights with her or a passing guest, is always just a guest in her domain. If, in our world, the man is often expected to make the first move, here the roles are reversed. A man doesn't ask or even hint. He waits for an invitation. It might be a barely perceptible glance, a slight gesture, or that one act that needs no words. The woman lifts the edge of the rug, opening the way into her tent. This gesture is everything. Acceptance, trust, consent. It is permission to enter. But if the rug remains down, the man has no right to even speak of it, let alone try to enter. A refusal is always silent, perfectly clear, and requires no explanation. This rule is as unbreakable as the laws of the desert, and this code of honor applies to every member of the community. There's no jealousy in our possessive sense of the word. If a woman has made her choice, it is respected. No one asks questions or passes judgment. The man who was with her yesterday won't make demands today if she has chosen another. Every night is a new agreement given freely and willingly. Here, an invitation to intimacy is an extension of hospitality, not an assertion of power or an attempt at ownership. A traveler, worn out from a long journey, finds shelter in a tent where he'll be fed, given hot tea, and protected from the night's chill. Sometimes, on a frigid desert night, the woman of the tent might offer for him to stay by her side. No words, no conditions, simply because the desert is cold and a human body offers warmth. This isn't drama or deception. It's an expression of the deepest trust and care for a fellow human, for a traveler the community has taken in. Here, a man is always a wanderer. He comes and he goes. He makes no claims, not on the woman or her space. At dawn, he simply gets up and leaves, without a word, without making a claim. This is the philosophy of the desert. Nothing is permanent but the sand, the sky, and the laws of hospitality. A man's true dignity in this world lies in his respect for a woman's absolute freedom and in never trying to hold her back, being there when she wants him and leaving when her choice changes. The tent is not just a dwelling. It's a symbol of freedom, independence, and self-sufficiency. Its woolen walls provide a reliable shield from the scorching heat of day and the piercing cold of night, and within it reigns a logic of its own, unfathomable to outsiders. The woman in that tent is not only the keeper of the hearth, but the absolute sovereign of her own life and her own body. She can choose a different man whenever she wishes, and she owes no one an explanation, not the tribe, not the elders. Her body is hers alone, and her decision is final and cannot be challenged. This isn't just a set of rules, it is a way of life and a profound philosophy forged over centuries under a relentless sun. There is no room here for our false notions of romance, ownership, and jealousy. There is only reality, the night, the cold, the thirst for warmth and closeness, and the absolute unconditional respect for individual choice. The Bedouins understand that the desert doesn't wait. There is no forever, only the here and now. This isn't pessimism, it's a deep-seated realism. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. The caravan could leave at any moment, so only the present moment has value. This doesn't mean they don't form attachments, but their attachments are different. This is why a woman can change partners without explanation. There are no reproaches or demands for an accounting. This isn't flightiness, it's a show of inner strength. She is not bound by promises. Her decision is her sovereign right, and it is respected. Because everyone understands, only a free spirit can survive in these harsh conditions. The man's role here is also unique. His dignity lies not in possessing, but in respecting. When the first rays of morning touch the sands, the man who spent the night in the tent gets up and leaves, without a word, without a claim, and without a single glance that might question the woman's choice. This silent departure is the highest expression of respect for her freedom. He leaves no trace and creates no obligation. He doesn't ask if she will be with him tomorrow. He simply accepts, today there was a moment of closeness, and that is enough. His strength is in his ability to let go. While our world is filled with so much drama, expectation, and talk of fidelity, here it all comes down to a single gesture, to a silent agreement. If that simple gesture is repeated, night after night, that is their marriage. Not a vow carved in stone, but a conscious, recurring choice to be together. Such unions, when they last, become incredibly strong because they are built on absolute freedom, not on coercion or social pressure. Intimacy here is not a stage for drama or a test of ownership. It is warmth in a cold desert. It is the comfort and acceptance that one person gives to another. It is part of the ancient law of hospitality, which is valued above all else. It might seem like such a system would create chaos, but it doesn't. Bedouin society is held together not by rigid prohibitions, but by the deepest respect for individual liberty. In the desert, where any morning could be your last, coercion and dishonesty are unaffordable luxuries. What's valued is directness, honesty, and the ability to live in the present. That is why when a woman lifts the rug and invites a man to enter, she makes him her companion for the night. No conditions, no promises, no strings attached. It is a moment of pure consent. It is the only thing that matters. There is no forever. There is only now. This philosophy, forged in the desert sands, allows the Bedouins to survive, preserving their unique culture and their unshakable inner freedom. Perhaps we can learn from them to value freedom, our own and that of others, to understand that true respect isn't about holding on, but about accepting another's choice. To realize that the strongest bonds are not based on oaths, but on a nightly, free agreement to be together. Because where the desert makes the laws, true freedom is born, and consent becomes the ultimate form of intimacy.